Go.
All right, hi everybody. We're going to be talking about parasites today, and we do have somebody filling in for our sister Shannon tonight. We have Garth as a speaker about parasites. In the Bible, it doesn't explicitly discuss modern biological understandings of parasites, but it portrays worms, plagues, and creeping things because of a curse, divine judgment, or symbols of decay and spiritual destruction. Worms and maggots are often associated with death and decomposition of the human body, sometimes as a form of divine punishment. An example would be in Acts 12:23. It describes the sudden divine judgment of King Herod, which was struck down by an angel of the Lord and died being eaten by worms, because he accepted blasphemous praise as a god and failed to give glory to God. Also, the Bible contains laws that we went over in the prior week that is found in the Old Testament against eating certain unclean animals and insects, which likely prevented the transmission of ancient parasites. A parasite is kind of like a metaphor for sin in a way. The destructive nature of a parasite which feeds on its host until it dies. It is used to describe the nature of sin, kind of like in a person's life. An example would be Hebrews 12:1, where it urges believers to persevere in their faith journey by removing hindrances and sin. The Bible also provides guidance on cleanliness and hygiene to avoid disease, such as the regulation of sewage disposal. Deuteronomy 23:14 says, where it instructs the Israelites to maintain strict cleanliness and moral purity in their camp, because the Lord walks among them to deliver them and grant victory over their enemies. So, not to scare anyone, I want you to know that parasite infections are quite common in humans, and roughly 25% of the global population has an infection related to intestinal parasites, mostly in tropical areas with poor sanitation. They are found in the U.S. through contaminated water and food. Parasites can naturally be expelled or destroyed with individuals that have a healthy immune system and good gut microbiome. Most of the time, they contribute to nutritional deficiencies and in rare cases can affect your organs. So with that being said, the most important thing is to eat healthy and build a strong immune system and improve your gut health. Some foods that you should eat to rid your body of parasites is raw garlic, pumpkin seeds, ginger, coconut water, and fermented foods like kimchi or sauerkraut. These foods create a hostile environment for parasites by disrupting their growth and acting as an anti-inflammatory and supporting a good gut microbiome. So today I brought some roasted pumpkin seeds for everybody to try. This is one thing that can help expel some parasites. And then I'm gonna hand the microphone over to our guest speaker, Garth.
Drum roll, please.
Now he was getting away.
No.
All right.
All right. Yeah, definitely don't want to scare you, but obviously the first page should do it. We're not going to get into depth of what each one does, because it's not good. That's all there is to it. We could talk for days on what each one does, how it reacts, where you normally find it. But I will tell you that with most of the research that I've been looking at, almost every, and I can say this without lying or feeling guilty, almost every illness is connected to some sort of parasite or something that is attacking your body. Now, nothing we talk about tonight is to replace seeking medical advice from a doctor but you will find out as we go on through this class that there is 10 major companies in the world that pretty much control over 80% of our food, and that's not including the pharmaceutical companies, and most of them don't want you to be healthy. Plain and simple, they don't want you to be healthy. For example, there's a company that makes dandelion poison to kill the dandelions because they know that the dandelions will actually pretty much cure a lot of your illnesses, especially with the C word. And so it's kind of ironic that they would try to pretend to make you better by selling you things to get rid of the C word. And I'm carefully saying that because this video does get uploaded, and I know sometimes, depending on what you talk about, your videos can be taken down. But it's not a game. In the US, we are majorly controlled by what we eat. The foods, the medicine, everything is altered, and so it's not in our best interest. The only thing that's in our best interest is the Word of God, and that's why we chose to make God a priority in this class. Without God, it doesn't matter what you do. No doctor, no food, no medicine, nothing's going to make you better. It's basically God, His direction, and His guidance. So after you've been scared with this picture, you can throw it to the side and don't look at it anymore. It bothered me just trying to print it off, trust me. But I wanted you to see what they look like, not animated pictures. I wanted you to actually see. These are things that as you do cleanses and take different natural remedies to rid your body of these parasites, you'll see these things. And I've heard them come out of all kinds of odd places. I've heard of pulling parasites out of your eyeball area. I mean, most commonly it's in your stool or your children's, and that's another thing. People, the pharmaceutical, the government, they want to put your kids on meds for hyperactivity, attention deficit, that sort of thing. A lot of it is not only the food, but the parasites, and the parasites love the sugary foods. So it's like one giant ring of unhealthy, basically attacks on our body, and it's all because our body is the only one that was created by God to be an image of Him and to basically give Him worship. Angels can't do it. Only we can give God what He wants, and that's the one-on-one relationship. So they do everything they can to try to make us sick, but if we follow God's commands, if we follow the different diet suggestions, I have to say that because some people will freak out if I tell you we shouldn't eat pig, but there's a reason why. The Bible wasn't joking when it said not to consume certain foods. It's because they are the highest in parasites. Trust me, I love sushi. I just had some a while back. My wife joked at the dinner table, you're gonna have to do a cleanse. And it's like, yeah, I know. But it's not uncommon in other countries. Other countries, they do it on a regular basis, couple, 2-3 times a year. In the US, nobody talks about it. Right. It's basically the crazy people, the ones that believe that the world's out to get us. Well, somebody's out to get us. You can blame the devil, you can blame whoever, but something is trying to destroy us. And our class is, the idea is to make you healthy, spiritually, physically, mentally. At some point, we'll talk more about finances, financially healthy. God doesn't want us to suffer. If He wanted us to suffer, He probably would have just, said, forget it. Jesus don't need to die on a cross. You guys were mean to me, and you were mean to my son, so He's just going to kick back in heaven and watch you guys suffer. No, He loves us. Amen. And so He put the stuff out there for us to try to make ourselves better. So the next page. If you are experiencing any of these things, there's a good chance that it's a parasite. Which one it is, that's another topic for another day, because there is so many out there. There's the one called the liver fluke. I have a feeling that's probably going to your liver. So anytime that you're experiencing things that would interfere with your liver, it's a good chance that's the one. And it does seem to be the one that's most talked about. It's not the one that's most easily found though. And I feel like that's because the others get much bigger. And so it's more easy to see these others when they come out. But unless you're doing something to try to get them out of your body, they pretty much stay in there. They're not looking to leave your body. And Katie was talking about how it's a metaphor for sin. In a way, it is sin. It's not a sin to sin, it's a sin to keep sinning. It's not a sin to have parasites, it's a sin to keep them. It's not a sin to, I used to do pest control, and I tell people this all the time. It's not bad, it's not wrong to have cockroaches. It's disgusting, but most people have cockroaches. They just don't know it. They might only have one, they might never see one. But 99% of the people I went to, if they had cockroaches, it was one extreme or the other. They were really bad because they're embarrassed and they don't want to talk about it, and they try to take care of it themselves, and they just get worse. And like cockroaches, parasites, if you try to take care of them yourself without seeking proper knowledge from people that know what they're doing, I've watched tons of videos, talked to tons of people. You have to know what you're doing, because you can eat something that should help cleanse your body, but if your body and the different entry and exit points are not cleared for things to flow through, it's just going to plug up and make you sicker. So truthfully, you really need to research, you really need to talk, either to a professional or somebody that does this on a regular basis, and find out what you need to do in order to rid your body of these things. And like gaining weight, it doesn't happen overnight. So if you have these, they're not going to go away overnight. It's going to take time, but everything that's worth it takes time. Well, pretty much most of the symptoms are anything from mood changes, anything that messes with your head, anything that messes with your joints, your stomach, teeth grinding. That was something that was pretty common growing up. I heard it all the time. You're grinding your teeth, you're grinding your teeth. I don't know it, I'm asleep. When my wife told me I had sleep apnea, I didn't know, I was sleeping. She told me I quit breathing. If I quit breathing, I'd be dead. I don't know what you're talking about. So, but there's certain things that they just happen, and most people just take it as, I had too much caffeine, I had this, I had that. Upset stomach, it must have been something I ate. Yeah, it probably was. It's either something that didn't agree with your body in a good way or a bad way, and you're having that effect. Weight changes. I went through a period of time where I lost a bunch of weight, like over 100 pounds in a 3-month period. I thought it was a good thing. I don't know whether it was a good thing or not. I just know that I was being more active than I normally am. Normally I sit on my rear end. But literally I was walking every day, especially, I'm old, I'm an East Sider, I'm a teenager back then. And I hung around downtown. Not a good place to be, but I hung around downtown. I walked that loop. If anybody's familiar with Des Moines, Iowa's loop, I walked that whole thing several times. And then the only thing I ate was pasta salad. People say pasta ain't good for you. It was the only thing I was eating. So I don't know whether it was good or I just wasn't eating that much, but it did definitely help me to lose weight. But I don't know if it was a good way to lose weight. And unfortunately, I think some of it's come back. So we won't discuss that. I'm pretty sure that's all the junk food that I try to eat so your children don't eat them and run around the church. That's what I'm going to blame it on. I'm trying to protect your kids. I'm trying to eat your candy. That's what I'm blaming it on. So
there's another one though, nutrition deficiencies. So if you're ever like deficient in a vitamin or mineral, it could be due to parasites. And I do want to say one other thing. You can contract parasites by not wearing shoes out in the soil. So if you're gardening, your hands in the soil, you have no shoes on, the parasites can come up through the soil into your feet or your hands. So gardeners and just be careful, you know, some people choose to wear gloves. I mean, it is therapeutic to be in the soil. I'm not saying don't, that's why I don't wanna scare you guys to not do things. I don't wanna give you guys the wrong impression, cause like I said, if you have a healthy gut microbiome and stuff, most of the time your body can already get rid of these. So it's not something that you guys need to fear. We're just telling you what they are and what they can do, and that we suggest cleanses and things for them.
I did make a photocopy of a health book, if you wanna get online and purchase that. It's natural home remedies that you can make. It wasn't supposed to be a joke, but to help lighten the mood from talking about disgusting critters crawling in our body. I did one for gut health, but if you notice the other page, it's talking about the rear end. That was not on purpose, but
What do you mean?
this page here,
It says hemorrhoids.
hemorrhoids and gut health. They do kind of go hand in hand,
back.
because when you're trying to eat healthy and do the right things, sometimes it can be a pain in the rear. But that was accident. That was on the same page. That wasn't pre-planned at all. But it is kind of funny. God's got humor. I mean, come on, He's got me up here trying to teach you guys about looking healthy. And,
That's the last one for sure.
yeah.
You guys
And
see last
I'm making up for last week's, I guess. So.
I did myself.
So I did a printout of a cleanse that I started. Unfortunately, like everything else, if you don't stay on top of it, it doesn't work. I need to get back into it. It's called the Master's Cleanse, and I liked it because the gentleman that recommends it has a website called Jacob's Link, and he links everything that's health related to the Bible. In that stuff, he talks about how the Bible recommends where to salt, and I have an example of a good quality salt on the table. You're to salt every offering, that's according to the Bible. You're to drink goat's milk because that's the better milk for you than cow's milk. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't want to spend the money, but if you look at what it costs to eat healthy versus the junk food's cheaper now, but when you're in the hospital or you can't function and get a job anymore because you've ate junk food, you're gonna find out it would have been better to spend the extra money, especially as we learn, and I don't know that we've actually talked about this yet. I think it might have been mentioned off camera the first night. We've been trained to eat 3 meals a day, to eat the minute you get up in the morning for breakfast, to eat lunch, to eat dinner, and then sometimes they tell you eat a snack here and a snack there. Back in the day when people were much healthier, they normally ate 1, maybe 2 meals a day. They were so busy working and doing maybe not necessarily God's work, they didn't realize it, but farmers get up, they do their job, they take care of their livestock, they do whatever, then they might have lunch, or they might not even get lunch and they work until dinner, and then they go home and they have dinner, and they relax, or they go back to out working. I mean, God did not design us to be lazy people, but man has tried to tell us that you need to sit and relax and have a sit-down job, and then they try to get the whole family involved in working, so nobody has any time to interact with each other. And I'm going to tell you, this isn't in my notes, but daily meals with your family or with loved ones are healing. If you are secluded and separate and not spending any time with other loved ones, you will get sick. People literally can die from loneliness. And now I feel like if you have a relationship with God, you're going to be in a better situation than most people, but it's still not healthy to be alone and to not interact with others. That is the real reason for having church, is not to come and be taught a lesson, because you should be in the Word every day. If you're just coming to church to get your 1 meal, you're going to starve and die throughout the week. I heard an episode this week of a minister talking about why they created Wednesday night services. Because back then, the ministers and a lot of the people are like, I can't make it all week on just one day of Jesus. I got to have a midweek service to get pumped back up to finish off the week. That is the same as allowing the parasites, even though you know they're there, you just ignore it and go, well, they'll go away. I prayed. God will work it out. If God's already given us the answer in the Bible of how to get rid of things, shouldn't we follow it? It seems like it's important.
Yeah.
Now, I did a print off of the notes, mainly because I wanted you to be able to see that there's things to support your gut. And some of those foods, when they're combined, they actually have a better outcome of helping your body. Anytime you do more than one good thing, it's going to have a positive effect. But some of the things that you can be eating to help support your gut and to help get rid of the little critters in you, because once you're healthier, it's easier to stay healthy. That's like fasting. Some of us, we did the fast that first few days or the first week of the month because that was something the church had suggested that we do. But I saw today, and I shared it on my timeline. I didn't share it on the church's timeline because I wanted to find out if that's okay. But they are recommending a 21-day fast. In that 21 days, they were recommending you at least have one meal, but each day we're praying for something else, and they'll post it on the website so that people can, in unison, be praying and fasting for different elements, different things to worry about in our bodies, so that we can basically together have support from each other to attack and destroy the stronghold that Satan is trying to get on the Christians. As much as I love pop and I love candy and I love all those good things, I know they're not good for me, and I can admit that I feel a difference when I try to eat healthy and do the right thing, and then when I either eat late. That's something that I'm learning more and more. It seems like if I eat after 7, 8 o'clock at night and then go to bed by 10 or 11, I'm no good the next day. Sometimes I don't even go to work because I feel like crud. Your body needs time to rid the food out of your system and to digest and not keep you up all night. And then depending on what you ate, I mean, I like to go out and eat after church and have a greasy cheeseburger or some cheese curds or whatever from Culver's. But the oil, the grease, the breading, all that stuff is not good. And so you really need to make better choices. The choices that you make today will affect you tomorrow. And that goes back to the same way with sins. The sins that we make today, they're not only affecting us, they're affecting our family and our neighbors. And somebody has to put their foot down and be the one to stop it. And I'm okay with being considered the crazy one in my family. I've probably told a lot of people not to go see the people in the white coats at the office, but I do not see positive things come from going and seeing people that are not trained to naturally help you get rid of things. They literally are trained in college to write a prescription, and that's it. And that was started by the Rockefellers because they were a big petroleum company, and they knew that they could make oil into medicine. I don't see where those two are good. Oil and medicine just don't seem like it's... I know if I went out and took a lick off the dipstick in my vehicle, I'm probably not going to be feeling very good. And unfortunately, that is, I mean, kind of what you're doing when you're taking medicines that aren't natural. So I didn't bring anything tonight. I wish I had. You brought the pumpkin seeds. I love pumpkin seeds. My granddaughter loves pumpkin seeds. You've got the garlic and ginger.
And then I've got,
I tried it once and I liked it, but I saw a recipe for taking papaya seeds and honey. And again, I think we talked about the honey. You want to get locally sourced. You want to get single sourced. You don't want multiple. You want to try to stay away from store-bought because most of that stuff is not from around here, so it's not going to be healthy for you. But that is a tasty alternative to like if you're wanting a candy bar or something that's not good for you, take a couple spoonfuls of the papaya seeds. They're not hard. They're actually kind of soft. And then with the honey, it takes away any fruit flavor that you're maybe not happy with. But there's all kinds of things that you can consume. And I wanted you to have this print off because I want you to be able to see and not try to remember everything that we talk about or go back and look at the video. But this lesson, not even planned, had some biblical points, which Katie already touched on. Leviticus tells us that we're to eat clean animals, hygiene, avoid contamination. Job talks about the worms as a symbol of decay. God cares about our physical health. And in Exodus, he promises protection from diseases. Now, if I remember right, what I've been teaching the kids in class is God makes promises, he calls them covenants, and he don't break them. So if he told us that in the beginning of the Bible, it's good all the way through.
Right.
So if he's promising us to be healthy and to have a fulfilled life, it's in following his commands. So that's the important thing. It's not, I went to church on Sunday and I went to church on Wednesday and I paid my tithes, so devil, you can't touch me. No, it don't work that way. You have to be in communication, communion, like a good relationship with a lover. I use this as a illustration at our old church that we went to. He wants to have a intimate relationship with us. He doesn't want just a weekend fling or just whenever you feel like it. He doesn't want you eating ice cream every day, although I did see that my favorite ice cream place is opening soon, so I will have to visit at least once. But there is things that you can do. This class isn't meant to tell you that you can't, but it's to let you know that there are things you can do that are beneficial, and you can do it as much as you want for the most part. I've never heard of anybody dying from eating too much honey, but I suppose that is possible. So don't get carried away. I wouldn't recommend downing a whole jar of honey, although I've had some that was really good. What was that one that we got? It was like raspberry or something.
Oh, the one that's
Raspberry
from
infused or some, yeah. Anyway, it was, that was
Upstream
good.
Gardens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I even bought one that's smoked for putting on ham,
that's different.
which is not good considering I'm learning that pork has lots of parasites. So I will have to do a cleanse after I make that ham. But there is wisdom to be found in the food and how we take care of it, how we take care of ourselves. It all goes hand in hand. We literally are given instructions on how to live and breathe and basically spread the love of Jesus. And you can't do it if you're sick, dying, and sitting at home going, well, Jesus is going to take care of me. I can't breathe. If you want to be a positive testimony, follow God's commandments, let him change your life, and then let people see that. You don't have to wear a t-shirt that goes, hey, I'm healthy, look at me, Jesus did it. If they know you as a 300-pound guy, like today, well, 288, and the next time they see me, I'm 200, they're going to be like, hey, what happened? Well, you won't believe it. I started reading my Bible more. I take this health class at church. I communicate with other believers, and we talk about different ways to eat healthy. Started gardening, even though I don't like it, which we probably need to work on ours, because right now it's full of weeds. But literally, it's something that if you care about it, you're going to take care of it. And it can't be done once a month, once a week. It needs to be daily. So there is some recipes. I just threw them in there. Again, I wish we had time to make a few of these. Did you have one that you were going to make?
Yeah, we're at
All right. I will let her make her recipe because I'm kind of interested in how that tastes. There is one in here for the pumpkin seeds. Now, I don't know exactly how, but I have a friend that, because of illnesses in her family, she got serious and decided to start seeking the knowledge, the wisdom, the education on how to turn her health around and turn her daughter's health around. And I'm going to say right now, because of what I'm learning and because of how serious my love for my wife is, she might have an allergy to nuts, but I'm going to figure out what we can do to eat, sleep, not medicate, but get rid of whatever it is that's polluting her system, that's keeping her from eating things that aren't bad. I mean, pumpkin seeds are good for you, but yet if she has them, she could get sick. So it's things like that God never intended for his good food to hurt anybody. So if you're getting sick off of something God created, it's not natural, and God probably didn't create it.
Garth, can you talk about the Master's Cleanse?
Okay, so the Master's Cleanse, I didn't make a copy of it, but basically it is a 1/16 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, a half a lime, and I found out you can actually eat the whole lime, skin and all, but for the recipe, it's just basically a half a lime squeezed, a pinch or two of the salt, and then they recommend either coconut or olive oil in a shot glass. And then it's best if you have distilled or alkalized water, because regular tap water is not good for you. But literally you take a shot of that. They recommend at least once a day. He recommends 3 to 10 times a day, depending on what you're able to do. Considering this guy's making videos all the time, I'm guessing he's got plenty of time to drink these. But it literally can transform your body from being the overweight, unhappy, depressed person to the crazy Christian that most people recognize us as, only this time you're healthy.
Right.
You're not just crazy because you believe in a guy that nobody sees. It will actually help open your eyes, and you'll see that even though people think that God is imaginary, you were created by God. So if you can figure out how to make another person like you, then you know exactly what God had to do. And some of us, I'm glad he broke the mold, because I don't think the world could handle another one. But that's all I've got. Again, we have more that we can do in the class, and maybe in the future we'll talk more in depth on maybe even break down the different parasites, and somebody can bring examples in. I don't know about me, because the picture was enough to make me sick. So, but Katie wants to say something. So
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
And I wasn't nervous at all.
That's okay, we're not either. I was gonna say, one way that you can check for parasites is through your stool. And one way you can find out if you have them is you will see what looks like rice. And those are actually parasite eggs that are in your stool. And there's also one other way, it's called the tape test. And like my child, I'll tell you a little story. My daughter Melody, she went to an Ecuadorian daycare, and they fed my kids guinea pigs. And it was like, it's something that they eat over there. And anyways, I think that she had gotten parasites from the guinea pigs, and so she at one time had them, and we had to do what's called the tape test, where you stick a piece of tape over their
Backside.
backside, and when they go to sleep and when you wake up, you can see if there's any eggs on that.
And you got to turn the lights off, because it has to be dark, or preferably anyway.
Yeah, so we
Because
were given medicine
the
for
light
that, and the whole
makes them
family
scatter.
has to be treated. So if one person has it, the whole family needs to be treated with it. But there are natural ways, like what you said, the cleanses. The main thing is just eat healthy. Like I said, make sure that it's not something I want you guys to fear. Parasites is not something that you should fear, but we should know that we probably do have them, and we do need to take care of them, like Garth is saying. And so, there's something else. Oh yeah, if you guys want to try fasting for parasites, it's been shown that if you fast for at least 10 days, that is the recommended time for parasites to be expelled or whatever, so. But it is kinda hard to do a 10-day fast, but I don't recommend it without maybe, if you do have health issues, I would definitely get that looked at first, but. Alright, here's Sonia.
Okay, so I'm gonna make, well, it's a herbal remedy. But before I do, I just wanna make a mention that, it is a process. It's not an overnight thing with, trying to be healthy. Like, and just be patient with yourself, small changes, it eventually adds up. And like we all three are in agreement, like we're not trying to put fear in any of you guys at all. It's just more giving you knowledge to equip you so that way you guys can utilize the information and research for yourself. And this does not replace medical advice at all. That's a disclaimer. So we're not providers. So, but I'm gonna make this herbal remedy. It's for cough, cold. You use honey, obviously onion and garlic, and then ginger. Oh yeah. So basically, you grab, I don't think there's really specifics on which type of onion, but I grabbed the red onion, and you wanna dice up the onion into small chunks or whatever size you want, and you wanna fill it in the jar. There is actual measurements, but I just kind of go with what I feel like I want to put in. And this is supposed to be good for if you have a cough, your sore throat, and colds.
How long does it need to sit?
I was reading you let this sit in a jar with everything combined for like 4 hours, but the longer you have it sit on the counter, the better. And you will notice that with the honey will get very watery, but that's normal, and it kind of ferments. When you do use it, you want to use like a teaspoon, I believe, or either a teaspoon or tablespoon of the liquid. So you don't eat any of the stuff, it's just gonna sit in the honey. And with the onion and the garlic, it has properties, like healing properties. It's supposed to help reduce the sore throat, the symptoms, the cough.
Anti-inflammatory problem.
Yeah, the ginger is supposed to be good for your gut, but also has other benefits as well. So basically, you're getting like 4 different things that you're going to be utilizing, and it's going to help your body. I will mention the garlic. I think you said something about the garlic.
Yeah, I just learned today. I don't remember the names. There's 2 key chemical components in the garlic that if you're gonna cook it specifically, you need to crush it or cut it up and then let it set for 10 minutes before you cook it. If you cut it up, throw it in the pan, you pretty much destroyed it. It has no properties to do anything. It might flavor the food, but that's gonna be all it does. Yes.
Also, the garlic that you buy in the jar, that is not gonna give you the nutrients. The only nutrients that you're gonna get from garlic is through garlic powder or real organic garlic. The garlic in the jar that you buy, that has no nutritional.
And this is organic from Sam's Club, I believe. Yeah, that garlic. So you want to get the real thing, if you're able to.
Cloves.
Huh?
Garlic cloves.
Yes. So you have to take this. What is it? Skin? The skin off the garlic, and then you have to crush it, and then let it sit. And then while it does its thing, then you can, after 10 minutes, put it in the jar. So I'm gonna put that in, and then I'm gonna chop the ginger.
Something that most people don't know unless they grow the garlic. Garlic that you buy in the stores, if you want good, healthy garlic, it should have the roots. If it doesn't have the roots, it probably came from the place across the seas that brought us everybody's favorite illness a few years back. And it's not good for you. I mean, you think garlic's garlic, you think apples are apples, you think bananas. Unfortunately,
Well, garlic will tell you on the thing where it came from, like Peru.
there you go.
So look, when you're getting, okay, so I will say this, when you're getting products like produce, like garlic, ginger, onions, or different stuff, if you're not able to grow it yourself, obviously look on the label. Like ginger will come in like a bag. It's like a sticker. There's a sticker on it, and it says proof. Just double check if it's from a country, then obviously try to look for.
If it's from Illinois, you probably don't want it, because Illinois doesn't grow good crops.
Yeah.
So
So
Just
that
grow it in your
basic,
own garden.
or just yeah, if you're able to do a garden, do a garden, because that's where you can get the fresh stuff, and it's where it came from. So.
And that's another thing, that God intended us to be a community, not just to show up on Sundays and have church,
Right.
but we should help basically feed each other's families. We
Yes.
should grow crops and share them. We should raise cattle and share them. Everything should be done in a community, family setting.
I will mention with onions, make sure you want to use your onion. Like you don't want to put it in the fridge; it becomes toxic. So if you're not able to use it all up, put it in the freezer. So, but if you can't, you're not. Toss it. Actually, I'll probably eat the onion and I'll put salt in it because I love doing it like an apple. I know I'm weird, but that's a Russian thing. So. I really do. It's actually really good.
Yeah.
Let it sit out.
Huh?
Don't onions like take the bacteria out of the air?
I've heard that too.
It can do. You can use onions.
Toxins.
Like,
You can put them on your feet.
yes.
In that remedy book, there should be a remedy on, I
For
think,
the air.
you
too.
put it in your
Yes,
sock,
your
you wear the
nose.
socks in your
overnight.
overnight, and it's supposed to pull toxins out of your body.
Okay. So I got.
Yes.
I got the garlic in there, I got the onions, and then I got the ginger. So I've got the jar kind of full for the most part. Now what I'm gonna do, okay, I know I bought honey from the store, but I was kind of pinched. Alright?
It says local.
It says local honey Midwest, okay? So I know what Garth said. He's like, yeah, get a single source local. Okay, I went to Aldi's, alright? You can find honey there if you need to. I was kind of in a pinch.
That's
so.
probably the better alternative.
Better, yeah.
Aldi's does seem to have a lot more
Alright,
pure
so what,
stuff.
And all the goat. I love all these because they got the goat milk.
They got the goat cheese.
Or the goat cheese.
I
Yes.
was gonna say, they
all
got
that.
goat milk?
Well, no, not. I felt
Trader
like
Joe's.
it,
Trader
but-
Joe's has Trader Joe's has goat milk.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna basically fill this cup or jar, I should say.
Up to the bottom?
No, I'm gonna cover the whole thing.
No, I mean, all the way up to the top?
Well, yeah, I guess.
I was saying,
It's-
I don't know if you're supposed to.
No, I'm gonna cover it because I'm gonna shake it.
Okay.
So that is what you can do. So I think that's at least a cup. All right. So now I'm gonna cover this, and hopefully I can shake this up. Probably not. I think I got it way too full.
Yeah.
We'll move
It'll
back
start.
so we don't have the
Take
microphone.
a spoon and stir it.
We don't want the microphone to land on the floor again.
So you don't have to put no water in it?
Nope. The honey will turn liquidy.
Oh, okay.
So the longer you have this sit on your counter,
Yeah.
the better. So you can probably just put it in your pantry, let it sit for.
And the moisture's from the water that's in all the vegetables,
Okay, so you
basically.
don't need to stick it in the fridge. It'll get too hard. Just leave it out on the counter.
I think
I
you're supposed to store it in a cool place.
Yeah. Honey itself is like what is it? It's preserved, so it's got very little moisture. So basically, okay, just research that because I'm not sure. I would say for the timing you can put it on the counter for 4 hours, but if you want to keep it longer, I wouldn't say put it in the fridge would be bad. So. Okay, so I pretty much am getting this mixed, and I'm not gonna try it because it's just gonna taste like really garlicky and honey, but I do sometimes because I like this stuff. So
For
I'll try it.
$5.99, if you click the link in the bottom of the video right now, I will taste it. No.
I mean but I eat raw garlic, I eat raw onions, and sometimes I'll try raw ginger
I love raw
because I know there's good benefits.
Ginger's good for
So.
brushing your teeth.
There's ways to pickle garlic, and so that way you don't have that strong, potent taste. And maybe one week
Good for your
we
stomach.
can show you how to
Pickle.
pickle garlic.
I know
And that way it's easier to.
I know there's ways you can pickle There's pickling. Americans pickle different than Russians. They pickle everything.
Maybe we'll have to do American version Russia.
I want to learn how to do it. But anyway, so next week we're going to be talking about fermentation. So this is actually a kind of good segue to get into, and we'll talk about what it is, the different types, and then also probiotics, prebiotics.
Are you gonna leave that jar here and we can see what it looks like next week?
We could put it
Yeah,
up in the
I
cupboard.
guess, yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
take this way when
You guys wanna try
it's cough
it?
season.
Let's not gonna try it right now.
No, I'm
I
saying
did-
if
oh.
they wanna try
Okay.
it.
So I got this mixed, and that's what you do. And I'm gonna.
Okay.
Okay, she was trying it.
Sorry, she did it, so
What's it
$5.99
taste
doesn't
like,
count.
honey?
Try it,
No.
Garth. Here.
Not with the same
There's a
spoon.
lot of honey,
Go, actually.
The onion's very
Gonna do
potent.
it, guys.
Ooh. The ginger kicks, and then the garlic.
So you can still taste all those
Does
flavors.
anybody
Yeah,
want a
but-
spoonful right now?
But
Come on,
I
get a
think,
spoonful.
I think over time this will lessen. The flavor will lessen.
Chris has to go back to the kids, so she gets to go first.
Go for it.
Well, I'm gonna put some napkins.
We're all
So
gonna
I
have
think over
garlic
time
bread
it
and
kind
bread
of
right
lessens,
up.
but right now it's so
Worship all over you.
Why is that good? It works.
Take a step back.
You have to eat the stuff with it?
No.
Here.
Okay, let me
Oh.
reiterate. So when you
Here,
do,
come get
when
what you
this
want.
gets like 4 hours of sitting, the honey becomes liquid. So you just basically put your spoon in there, and you just take the honey.
Yeah.
Like the liquid,
The
not the chunks.
not the chunks, not the chunks.
Way to poison
sorry.
me, Garth.
So when this will become liquid, so you just put your spoon in, take the liquid, and then that's how you like help with the sore throat or the cough or whatever you got going on.
Yeah, don't do the bomb that goes.
But yeah. So anyway, I don't want to confuse anybody with that. But anyway, that's all we got.
All right, thank you all. Have a good night.
Thank you, everybody.